always on the go, but the day just won't be one without your Hollywood fix. Let Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast take care of that. An all-inclusive look of pop culture.
Thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Entertainment Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Jessica, and I'll be sharing some of the top entertainment news that you just need to know right now. How is everyone doing today? You guys, I'm here with Wilson. You might hear him say hello at one point. It has been such a lovely few days here. We've been having a very beautiful week. I know with the hurricane coming, the weather will change. I am thinking about everyone down south in Texas and Louisiana. So hope you guys are all doing well. So I have just been, doing stuff around the house. I've started the big job hunt. I know my situation has changed drastically due to COVID. So I'm looking for some work, starting some interviews, nothing really, great as of yet. I'm actually thinking about maybe now is the time to hit up grad school. I've been thinking about it for a while. I've always wanted to continue my education. I really loved what I majored in, and I really love being in school, and I love to learn. I am that student. I was the student that sat in the front row. I was the student that always tried to connect with professors because I was not a good test taker. I'm terrible test taker. I think I cave under the pressure of testing, and I overthink answers, especially if it's multiple choice. I'm terrible at it. So my strategy to do well was I would always arrive early or sit in front of the class. I was always in the first row. I wanted my professor to know me and to know my face. I didn't want to hide in the back because I used to do that, and that did not work out well for me because you're just a face. Not even. You're barely a face. You're just this name on paper, and they don't really know you, and it's hard to connect. And these professors, they see so many students over the course of their careers. So I wanted to sit up front, make sure my professor knew who I was. So then if I was struggling, they would see that I was putting in effort and that I was doing my best, and they would have a face to my name. And whenever I would go to them for help, because that is also the key to success, they would know who I was. So I really enjoyed it. I really miss it. I know school right now isn't the same as it was. I won't be sitting, front row in any classes, I don't think, anytime soon. But I think continuing my education is something I really want to do. I've always wanted to get my master's. I even have thought about going all the way, to get a PhD in something. So I studied English with culture and media studies. I really loved it. It really taught me how to think critically. And I loved literary theory. I loved breaking things down. One thing that I am very interested in is the news media and how headlines are written. I'm really fascinated about headlines. They're very, very powerful. And so who knows, maybe going into media studies down the road. I don't know. We will see. That is, that's just what I've been doing. Just kind of looking at some colleges. Again, don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm almost done paying off my student loans for undergrad. I don't know if I want to take on more evil loans of doom. But anyway, that's that. You're not here to listen to me talk about school. You are probably here to listen about the entertainment world and what is going on. Well, let me tell you, today we are talking all about reality television. I did not mean to write the show that way. It just kind of happened. Once I was finished writing up the show, I was like, oh, well, there is quite the theme for this. So I hope you like reality TV. That is what this show is about. We are talking Real Housewives, we're talking Bachelor Nation, and we're going to talk about the most famous reality TV family, the Kardashian Jenners, but not in a way you think. It's a different type of story. And then in the end, since we have a clear theme, I will be sharing some of my favorite reality TV shows. So when I was writing that list, and I only did 5, it was really hard, but there's some really good stories in there that I am looking forward to sharing with you. So please stay tuned to the end and hear about some of my run-ins with reality TV stars. So without further ado, let's just dive right on in, shall we? So the big news coming from reality TV, and it comes from the Real Housewives, Dorinda Medley is no longer a Real Housewife of New York. In fact, word on the street is she actually got let go from her housewives' duty. She got fired. That is the rumor on the street. Page 6 has been reporting it. It's pretty wild. The latest season of Real Housewives of New York has not been the best, and Dorinda has been coming off very, very cruel. I mean, the woman has some of the most amazing one-liners in the whole franchise, but man, she is not nice once you get a few drinks in her. So I am surprised but not surprised to hear about this news. Carol Radswell, a former New York housewife, is disappointed to see Dorinda being let go or leaving the show, depending on how you want to look at it and what story you want to believe. The Real Housewife of New York alumni weighed in on Medley's decision to exit the franchise after 5 seasons, calling her the only real housewife and claiming that without Medley, there will be no more truth-telling. Now, I kind of hear that. You know, I loved Carol on the show, by the way. I thought she was an amazing housewife. Her friendship ending with Bethany was so heartbreaking to watch. They were such good friends, but I love Bethany and I love Carol, and I felt like I was in between the two of them when their friendship came to an end, and it was just so sad to watch. But anyway, I love Carol. I think that what she says has a lot of weight. And with her saying no more truth-telling, that's kind of true. Hate to say it. I mean, sure, she could be mean, but Dorinda was honest. So Carol says Dorinda was the only real housewife in a tweet. So no more truth-telling. Trust me, that's the main reason cast is let go, telling the truth and exposing fake cast members and their storylines and how it's all manipulated by production. Whole Carol. I love it. Carol was a truth talker as well, and she does imply the main reason of being let go. Oh my goodness. Carol was too good for the show, I think. But I'm going to get more on that a little bit later. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So she shared a poster with herself and Dorinda saying, "And so it goes, Real Housewife of New York fans will miss her quips, her humor, her in-your-face bull detector, and her intelligence." So she also took a jab at the Real Housewife of New York stars Ramona Singer, Luann, Sonia, Leah, calling them a sea of mendacity. I wonder if the New York Housewives even know what that word means. Medley joined the franchise in season 7, and she just announced her departure on social media on Tuesday by saying, "What a journey this has been. I have laughed and cried and tried to make it nice." Another one of her lovely quips. "But all things must come to an end. This was a great outlet for me to heal when my late husband Richard passed away. I have met so many interesting people and learned so much about myself, about life, and about women along the way." She continued, "Thank you to Bravo and NBC for the incredible ride and to my castmates for constant stimulation and entertainment. I wish you all health, happiness, and success." Clip. Page 6 is told that Dorinda Medley was indeed fired from the Real Housewives of New York City because she became a, quote, mean drunk on the show. A source meant that Medley would become mean when drunk, not that she would become a drunk, which, you know, being a drunk and an alcoholic is something that the women throw around a lot on Real Housewives of New York. We're told that Medley was blindsided by the news and that she'd been dropped by the Bravo show after 6 seasons. She had been filming an episode of ABC's The $100,000 Pyramid when she got the call. Meanwhile, Page 6 says that Medley, who, for example, repeatedly made fun of Luann for her alcohol-involved arrest, surprised her co-stars by failing to acknowledge that she had been stepping over the line. Which is true. I mean, well, first off, let's just talk about how the Real Housewives of New York is really disappointing to watch because all they do is just drink and that's it. And then they get into a fight and then the whole next day is them trying to piece together the night before. And you said this, I said that, but I was drunk, but you were this, and blah, 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 blah. It's just like boring. It's the same, it's the same formula every episode. And I'm not going to lie, I'm a little over it. I am wondering if any other castmates are going to be let go. Not gonna lie, I would be totally okay if we said goodbye to Ramona. Her abhorrent behavior is so 2008. I get that she's a staple to the show and an original cast member, and that carries some sort of weight, but I'm just over her being a mess and just all over the place. She is hanging on to the show by a thread, and only because this is probably her main source of income. I know she has a jewelry line, you know, wine and skincare, but I'm curious how much all of that actually brings in. She doesn't seem to be as savvy as other housewives in the franchise in terms of marketing herself. Also, I'm just not the type of fan that enjoys the mess that is Ramona Singer. Like, a lot of people, I think, like to watch the show and they find her behavior to be good television. And I'm all for that for like 1, maybe 2 seasons. But come on, since 2008, like, your behavior shouldn't be tolerated anymore. How she treats people shouldn't be tolerated. How she treats staff shouldn't be tolerated. I mean, she's just terrible. I'm sorry. I am not here for Ramona anymore. If she got let go, I would not be sad. And maybe that would make the Real Housewives of New York better. I would love to see someone like Heather Thompson come back. She seemed to have her stuff together with her business that I'm pretty sure she has since sold. And she has an understanding and savvy as to how business actually works. And we saw that when she was trying her hardest to help Sonia with her toaster oven line. I mean, that never saw the light of day. If we have gone this long in New York with the same women and they can't keep these new housewives that are coming in, either the core cast is just such a joke that real people don't want to ruin their reputations by being associated with these women, or there just aren't any real aspirational women left in New York. Like, those are the 2 options. We have seen housewives just like come and go, and these core women who do nothing but drink, they stay, and it's the same storyline all the time, and I'm over it. So I'm over Real Housewives of New York. I'm so sorry. Please, please, please rebrand yourself. Do better. Like, look at the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and just, if you can do like 10% of that, you will be light years ahead of where you are now. I know those are harsh words. I know they are. But that's just how I feel as a viewer and as a consumer of Bravo. So anyway, that is the big scoop on Real Housewives, Dorinda leaving. This is quite the shakeup. I'm curious to see if there's going to be any other exits, if they're going to completely redo New York. I cannot wait to see what happens. One of the only good things to come out of Real Housewives of New York was Bethany. And even she just can't handle the mess of these women. I mean, she's just like, come and go. She's like, I can't be bothered. She actually has stuff going on with her life and her business. Anyway, so that is my rant on that. Please stay tuned. Coming up next, we are talking about Bachelor Nation, and we are talking about the famous family that is the Kardashian-Jenner clan, but not in a way that you think we're going to talk about it. It's going to be very different. And then at the end of this episode, I will be sharing some of my favorite reality TV shows, keeping up with the theme of reality TV. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
Want to find out what movies to go see? Then check out the GSMC Movie Podcast. It's your ticket to the latest movies, whether it's a new blockbuster event, romantic, comedy, or action flick. This show has got it all covered. They talk some what to go see now. Don't bother. What's hot on Netflix and everything in between. That's gsmcpodcast.com/movie-podcast. When it's all about the movies, it has to be this new show. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit gsmcpodcast.com for more info.
All right, friends, welcome back. We just talked about the Real Housewives of New York and that train wreck. And now we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics on the planet, The Bachelor. The Bachelorette finally has a premiere date set. ABC has announced the show is coming back on Tuesday nights rather than the normal Monday night time slot. The 2-hour premiere will be on Tuesday, October 13th at 8 p.m. Guys, I cannot wait. I already have my sushi order lined up for that day. We always do The Bachelor and sushi, so I'm so excited. I mean, people have their sports. I have The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. So ABC also released a poster, the key art, in a nod to the movie The Graduate. I very much enjoy that Claire has ditched the sparkly gowns for her jeans and a chic velvet blazer. I love a good blazer style. This is a style that I can 100% get behind. While mostly in the foreground of the image, we have a man who's pulling up socks. This is a gender swapped play on the poster for, like I said, the movie The Graduate. This movie features an affair between a young man and a much older woman. At 39, Claire is the oldest female lead in the Bachelor franchise, and nearly all of the men cast for her were younger, some up to 15 years younger. So is this just a joke about her age? I don't know how I feel about that, if it is, but if she was in on the joke, then that's cool. So who am I to I don't know. Do I judge? No, I think it's kind of fun. Whatever. But so the franchise did do this to itself by casting younger contestants in the past. It's really hard to get out of this cycle now. Now, although we have the poster with Claire on the front of it, we do know that Tayshia Adams becomes the Bachelorette mid-season. So I don't know when her poster is going to come out or what her tagline will be, or if her poster will be a play on another movie. Who knows? But Chris Harrison posted on Twitter, quote, "I feel like this could be double trouble." Now, when he says that this is going to be the most dramatic season, I am inclined to believe him this time around. On Instagram, he wrote, "It's safe to say this season will be twice as good as any other." You know what, Chris Harrison? I am here for it. I am so excited. Continuing with some Bachelor Nation news, former Bachelorette Rachel Lindsay very well might be the most hardworking woman in the franchise. This woman has a stacked resume. Lindsay has just joined Extra as a correspondent for season 27, which is why I believe she now has an apartment in Los Angeles in addition to her home in Miami that she shares with her husband, Brian. that from her season, this was a Bachelorette success. She says, I am thrilled to be working with Extra. They have an established, respected reputation and are a staple in the entertainment world. I have always admired the engaging, informed, and entertaining stories they bring to life. I am looking forward to joining this Emmy Award-winning team. I am excited to bring my voice, experience, and perspective to one of the best in the industry. She currently co-hosts the Bachelor Happy Hour podcast with fellow Bachelorette alum Becca Kufrin, in addition to the Ringer's Higher Learning podcast with Van Lathan. Lindsay also hosts MTV Ghosted series. I mean, this girl, she does not stand still, and I really, really admire that. I love that she is a woman who stands her ground and stands firmly in what she believes in. I love the Rachels and the Caitlins of the franchise who move on and to use their platform to start their endeavors. I really do admire it. They are more than just Bachelor Nation personalities. You know what I mean? Like, I love Caitlin Bristow's scrunchie line. I have several of her scrunchies. They work wonders in my hair. I have thick curly hair, and these scrunchies not only like hold my hair well, but you can also see and know that it's a scrunchie. The scrunchie doesn't lose its shape when it's in my hair. She also has a wine label that, guys, I am so jealous of. I mean, as you may know by now, it is my dream to own my own wine company one day. And, I don't have the platform that Caitlin Bristow has by going on The Bachelor. So I really appreciate that she took this opportunity and used it to her advantage. She's very lucky and she's very smart because not a lot of people can do what she does. Not a lot of people can do what Rachel does. And that's, you still have your fans from the show. You haven't deserted them, but you've grown with them and you're able to build your brand and your business. So like, good on you. I've actually started to unfollow a lot of people in Bachelor Nation simply because I felt like they don't offer anything other than some sponsored posts. Like, it's kind of boring. Like, I don't care about your sugar bear hair. I don't care about like your nighttime routine with this coffee scrub, but do something on your own. Like, if you're going to sponsor wine, sponsor your own wine, like you have the opportunity, just be wise. So I would rather have these scrunchies on my feed than these SponCon watches, that you have nothing to do with, or sunglasses over it. So that's my little rant on that. So Rachel Lindsay, congratulations on moving up in the world. You are doing some big and wonderful things. I want to do some honorable mentions of Bachelor Nation folk that have been around. Like someone who hasn't had the best go of it, let's talk about Blake Hortzman. So he recently opened up about the lasting effects of his tumultuous tour on Bachelor in Paradise last year. He was on a podcast hosted by Chris Randone, a fellow alum, and he said that Paradise was really hard for him and that he definitely has PTSD. And he says, I obviously don't mean that in like Vietnam Army, like whatever, but I do when I start thinking about being back on that beach, my heart races and my palms sweat. The TV personality The TV personality caused controversy on The Bachelor spinoff when it was revealed that he had pursued multiple women, Kaylin, Hannah, and Christina, ahead of filming. Oh, and then he made the headlines afterwards when the show was airing. On, I think it was Snapchat or Instagram, he posted screenshots of private text messages between him and Kaylin when they were at Stagecoach. Oh, okay, so this is why I don't like Paradise as much as I used to. He really, for a lack of a better phrase, put a really bad taste in my mouth. He was so loved when he came off Becca's season of The Bachelorette, and his head just got way, way too big, and these are the consequences. I hope that everyone who comes from the franchise takes a page from the Blake Horstmann playbook of what not to do. And here's the thing. If you want to come off the show and be a playboy, that's fine. Be a playboy. Live your best life. I support it. But then don't go on Bachelor in Paradise thinking that you could fool everyone and have your cake and eat it too. That's not how it works. You will get caught because funny thing, ladies talk. So if I'm going to talk about Blake Horstmann, I do want to talk about Taylor Nolan. She is a precious gem of a human being. She is speaking out about the hate and negativity she faced while on The Bachelor and afterwards. So Taylor appeared on season 21 with Nick Viall, and she has been now featured on, well, you will see her again on The Bachelor, the greatest seasons ever, because we're going to redo Nick Viall's season. And so she's kind of like worried, but not worried about everything being re-aired. She spoke with Rachel Lindsay and Becca Kufrin on their episode of Bachelor Happy Hour, and she was grappling with the weight of the words that were spoken against her and how she was feeling like she didn't belong at the time of filming. Taylor explained to Rachel and Becca that the comments she got while The Bachelor were airing was so uncalled for and really inappropriate. She brought up the women tell all and how she tried to tell Corinne that the words that she used gave her fan base permission to use those same words and use them to attack her. She said, "Your words have real life consequences for me. I wasn't name calling you. I wasn't attacking." Taylor revealed that she had people shaming her for being a therapist. One person went so far as to report her therapist's license to the Department of Health and alleged Taylor was, quote, unprofessional and that she shouldn't be allowed to be a therapist. And this is one thing that I have a problem with the franchise and, you know, keeping up with a bunch of fans from the franchise. A lot of people really loved Corinne, and I never understood it, but maybe it's because I saw in Corinne what I saw in a bunch of other girls growing up that would tease me relentlessly when I was in school. And people gave Corinne the same excuses that I heard for these people. Like, oh, well, that's just the way she is. Oh, she's just funny. And, you know, you give that person a lot of power to keep doing what they're doing, and they do a lot of damage to the other person. I mean, for me, school was a long time ago, so I've definitely fought those demons and overcame them, and I'm on the other side of them. I had what I felt was my glow up, and that felt really nice. I didn't peak in high school, so that was a bonus for me. You know, but I had people making fun of me all the time, and to see Taylor be attacked by someone who was constantly being cheered on, not only how the show edited her to be, but then the fans outside afterwards as it's airing, it's really heartbreaking. And listening to Taylor talk about it was really nice. I'm happy that she has her voice now and she's separated enough and she can go into watching the episode on Monday with her season with Nick, and she feels stronger about it. She kind of knows what to expect. She's better equipped to handle it. So I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait to see what she has to say with everything airing, and I'm really curious as to how the public is going to react to her. Her season aired in 2016? So, you know, maybe people will come around and not love Corinne as much and see the fault in how Corinne treated her. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So justice for Taylor. I've always been on your side, girlfriend. You go, girl. So that is all I have on the Bachelor franchise right now. You guys know I'm always going to keep you up to date with what's going on with the Bachelor world. I can't wait for Tayshia's poster to come out. I cannot wait to share that with you. It's going to be so exciting. The season's going to be great. Anyway, I have to stop. We need to move on. We need to take a quick break. When we come back, we are talking about the famous reality TV family, the Kardashian-Jenner clan. Again, I'm talking about it in a way It's very different. We're not going to talk about paparazzi or anything like that. So stay tuned. And at the very end, I'm going over my favorite reality TV shows. So you're not going to want to miss it. Come right back. Bye.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Woo! Welcome back, my friends. So, what a fun episode so far. We have talked Real Housewives, we have talked The Bachelor, and now let's talk about the Kardashians and the Jenners. Guys, the devil works hard, but Kris Jenner works even harder. Stories like this just blow my mind. I have no idea why, but let me tell you something. The momager is eyeing yet another business venture. She has filed trademark documents last week to secure the rights to the phrase, "You're doing amazing, sweetie," a line she first said in 2007 in Keeping Up with the Kardashians when Kim was posing for Playboy. Kris Jenner plans to slap that catchphrase on a slew of products ranging from cosmetics, clothing, baby supplies, and home goods, even books and magazines. Jenner previously trademarked the phrase momager back in 2017. I don't know why I'm obsessed with this. Like her, I guess, meme, GIF of "You're doing amazing, sweetie" is one of my favorites to use. I love saying "you're doing amazing, sweetie." It's part of the lexicon. She is just, I don't understand like trademarking phrases. That, I don't know why that weirds me out so much. Her daughter, Kylie Jenner, attempted to trademark the phrase "rise and shine" last year in 2019. The social media phenomenon first began after Jenner posted an office tour on her official YouTube page, where fans immediately noticed her particular wake-up call for one-year-old daughter Stormy. "Rise and shine," Jenner sang, and the memes were officially born. The moment exploded on social media, including the popular video app TikTok. Jenner and her team immediately capitalized on the momentum, selling $65 Rise and Shine hoodies through her online store, The Kylie Shop, which are now obviously sold out. In addition to Rise and Shine, news broke this week that Jenner also filed for a trademark for her name in the categories of restaurant, bars, cocktail lounges, as well as a variety of home decor items. So it's going to be like Rise and Shine by Kylie. That's crazy. It's Rise and Shine by Kylie Jenner. I apologize. So we will see if that will be approved. It's just trademarking phrases blows my mind. She was ripped apart for it on Twitter when she tried to get her name, just Kylie, trademarked, but we can thank singer Kylie Minogue for that. I mean, how you can't trademark and just Kylie. Like, other people are allowed to be named Kylie. Oh my gosh, so crazy. But I get it. That's why I think it's so fascinating. So she may not own the name Kylie, but if she wants to open like a restaurant or start a wine company or like rugs or floor mats, clocks, pretty much everything else, she can because she has like other Kylie slogans copyrighted. The entire Kardashian clan, so that's Kim, Kanye, Kylie, Khloe, and Kendall, have applied for over 700 trademarks between them. Kylie Jenner herself has 128. The Kardashians use trademarks to protect their personal brands and try to freeze out anyone who might want to capitalize on their names and also those on their children. So like, I get it. So I understand trademarking your names for personal branding for things such as like Kylie Con. Like I get that. But to phrases? No, sweetie. No. Doesn't work like that. Gene Simmons is another one who likes to try to trademark literally anything and everything he can think of. So, for example, one thing that he does have trademarked, if you don't know, is the money bag symbol. So any bag that has the $ on it, that's his. So that's money bags, satchels, tea bags, laundry bags. If it's a bag with a $, it's all his. He can make money off of it. So you can go onto this website called Justia Trademarks and search anything like the Kardashian Jenner clan have trademarked. It's so fascinating. I love going through. I mean, I've lost so many hours. Okay, not hours, but like minutes. I lost like a lot of minutes. I lost a lot of minutes to looking at things they have trademarked. And it is literally anything and everything under the sun. I don't know if the trademark for You're Doing Amazing, Sweetie is going to go through. Oh my goodness. Who was it? Here, let me see if I can look it up real quick. I know you hear me typing. That's crazy. Let's see. All right. Well, I can't. Oh, here it is. So LeBron James tried to trademark Taco Tuesday. This was also last year in 2019. I guess 2019 was a big year for trademarks. But anyway, LeBron James tried to trademark Taco Tuesday. And they're just like, Taco Tuesday is like a known thing. Like people say it. It's already super popular. It's already all over the place. It's already all over social media. You can't just come in and be like, now I want a piece of that pie. So I'm very curious to see how You're Doing Amazing, Sweetie, if that's actually going to win. Because here's the thing. I think anytime you say You're Doing Amazing, Sweetie, everyone who knows, they know. Like they know it's a Kris Jenner thing. But it's also just a random phrase. So does she get the right to it? I don't know. But she's going to make a lot of money if she does. Because I'm not going to lie, I would definitely buy something that says You're Doing Amazing, Sweetie. And Kris Jenner, if you want to send any my way, I would not be mad. I am on your side on this one. So anyway, so go on to that website, have fun, look up what people are trademarking. It is so fascinating. I even looked up my last name and there's a lot of wiggle room for me. So who knows? Maybe I might spend the day tomorrow just doing some trademarks. I believe they do have to be renewed every 5 years. So you have to stay on top of it. So you will see a lot of like repeats if you do like Jenner or Kardashian. So that is that on that. So that's just little fun little news. I thought that was a fun tidbit to talk about. I think trademarks are interesting. So let's just see. I will keep you updated to see how that goes. So real quick, before we take another quick break, I wanted to say congratulations to Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom for welcoming their daughter, Daisy Dove Bloom, into this crazy world. Orlando Bloom shared a post by charity UNICEF, of which the couple are ambassadors, confirming the arrival of their daughter, along with a black and white photograph of the child's hand. So listen, a lot of people who are giving birth these days, it's very difficult. I think different cities have different rules, and if the dad or, anybody is allowed to be in the room while the child is being born, I hope they had a smooth and healthy an easy delivery. I can't imagine giving birth is the easiest thing on the planet. I hear it's very painful and very difficult. So I hope mommy and baby are doing well. Orlando Bloom, I can just imagine him just like beaming like a smile from ear to ear. He has such a great smile. This kid is going to be so cute, and this child is going to be so loved. I love the name Daisy. When I first read it, I was shocked. I was like, that's different. And I didn't think I would like it, but I really love it. I think Daisy is such a sweet name. Is it a name for a baby? Yes. I can't picture an adult named Daisy, but sometimes people are born, they're given a name, and they do look like their name. Fun fact, side note, I have a very dear friend named Gretchen, and to see a Gretchen as a baby is weird. Like, you just don't picture a baby named Gretchen, but she is totally a Gretchen. She's one of the most beautiful women I know. I love her to pieces. So Gretchen, if you are listening, love you, girl. Lilas. Anyway, so Daisy, congratulations. Welcome to the crazy COVID world. You have entered in this. If this is the worst of it, your life's going to be pretty good. So congratulations, mom and dad. When we come back, we're going to take a little bit of a break. We're talking reality TV today. We have talked about the Real Housewives. We've talked about Bachelor Nation. We have talked about the Kardashian-Jenner clan. And now I'm going to share with you some of my favorite reality TV shows on the planet, some of the shows that bring me the most joy. You're not going to want to miss it. It's a fun list, I promise. We'll be right back.
Golden State Media Concepts bring you Book Review Podcast, a haven for bookworms of all ages and the widest genres, from mystery to memoirs, romance to comedy, fantasy to sci-fi. If you love to read, this is a podcast for you. It's the Golden State Media Concepts Book Review Podcast.
And welcome back, friends. This is my favorite part of the show. It is the part where you kind of get to know me. I don't really talk about news, but I try to keep this as a theme every episode. So today, to keep on with the reality TV theme, I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite reality TV shows. At first, when I thought of this list, I was like, oh, this is going to be kind of boring, but I actually have some fun stories in here for you. And maybe some shows that you have not heard of or just haven't seen. Maybe they're a little too old and you miss them. So I am here to share with you. So here, I kept it to 5. So, because just in case I go on a rant. So number 5, we have, and this has to make the list. It is Gene Simmons' Family Jewels. Oh my goodness. This is from so long ago, you guys. This aired on A&E originally in 2006, and it lasted till 2012. It was like The Osbournes, but for me, it was way, way better. I know I just talked about Gene Simmons a little earlier and his trademark with the money bag. The reason I know this is because of this show. It follows the Kiss bassist and vocalist Gene Simmons and his longtime partner and now wife Shannon Tweed and their 2 children, Nick and Sophie. What I love about this show is that you expected it to be one thing and it was the total opposite. Like, Gene and Shannon raised 2 amazing children. I want to say that right off the bat. Nick and Sophie are just the best reality TV show children I've ever seen. I love them. And I mean, we're talking the world where it was like Paris Hilton, young Kim Kardashian, and just socialite. These kids were incredible. I love Nick and Sophie so much. So Gene and Shannon, amazing job. The family was so normal. And you would think that they wouldn't be because of like the whole like kiss and rock and roll and the crazy hair and the makeup and so normal. Their personalities, wild, but they were so normal. Nick and Sophie being embarrassed by their parents were just so relatable. They all loved each other. You would think that they would live this like rock star life, but no, they had very strict rules. Gene doesn't drink. They're just so good. And Nick is so funny. Like I guess like on The Bachelor, they call it the ITMs, the in the moment interviews. Where they would sit on the couch in front of the camera were always so hilarious, especially between like Shannon and Nick. Always so funny. Like Shannon would talk about changing Nick's diapers as a child, and it's just like exchanging embarrassing stories with friends. I really loved this show so much. I miss it so much. I think it was so underrated. I would give anything for this to still be on the air. This family was just too pure for the reality TV show world. I really wonder if it's streaming anywhere, and if it's not, they should totally stream it. Gene Simmons, what are you doing? Like, stream it. I want to watch it. Oh man, I loved that show. I definitely might have to look it up on YouTube or something, or at least some clips. So the next, number 4 on some of my favorite reality TV shows. Okay, ready for this? This is Project Runway, but season 1. I love the first season of new reality TV shows because no one knows what's going on. I think it's so much more authentic. So Project Runway season 1, oh my gosh, that is a tongue twister, was just so exciting to watch. It aired in like 0405. I'm not going to lie, I wanted Austin to win, but Jay winning and being from PA, let's just say I wasn't disappointed. I just would have lost a bet. So here's a really fun fact about the show and why it stands out to me. First off, it was just so groundbreaking, the show. It was so exciting to watch. I loved the fashion, and it was just new and it was different. Then, so in college, here's the fun story. So in college, I forget what the event was, but there was a show like in the theater, and there were people from Project Runway there, like just some of the contestants, like number 5, 6, runner up. And so me and my friends, we went, and I think my one friend was like working on the show, like backstage or something, and whatever, they were there. So Jay, the season one winner, I don't know why I can't talk, surprised everyone by showing up. He just like runs on stage, and all of his like cast members are like, oh my God, you're here. Well, it's because he like lived in the area. I went to school in like rural PA. So he's there. I'm like, this is so exciting. And because we knew someone who was working like backstage, we got to go and meet the cast of season 1 of Project Runway. So when I went up to meet Jay, if we have listened to any of my podcasts in the past, and if you listened to my first one about Jonathan Groff, you know that I am not shy when it comes to asking celebrities and famous people out to hang out. Like, I just want to chill. Like, let's be cool. And so I said, hey, we're all going to this one bar. Do you want to come? And he's like, what? And I'm like, come on, we go there all the time. It's such a good time. Please, this is where we're going to be. And we tell him. My friends are like, Jess, I can't believe you said that. I'm like, well, if he doesn't show up, he doesn't show up. But if he shows up, it'll be great. So we go to the bar, and we're having a great time, and he doesn't show up, and we're waiting for Jay. We're waiting. And it's getting late. Bars are probably going to close in about an hour or so. So we're like, we'll probably just go. And as like we're getting up to leave, we see him walk through the door. You cannot miss him. He had like bright pink hair. And he came up to us. He's like, oh my God, I can't believe you guys are here. And we're just like, we can't believe you're here. And so he sat with us, and we were ordering drinks and having a great time. And we felt so VIP. Now, mind you, like I was a theater major at the time. We are all different. We all come from different walks of life. We're all outgoing. You know the drill. We were having so much fun. We felt so cool that we were hanging out with Jay, the winner of season 1 of Project Runway. And people were coming up asking for autographs and pictures, and he would not leave our side. We had so much fun. We laughed a lot. The pictures are great. So at the end of the night, he's like, so now what do you guys do? And we're like, oh, we usually go to the diner. We go to the APD. And he's like, let's go to the APD. So we go to the diner, and we had so much fun, just like eating and drinking and just, well, not like alcohol, just like lots of coffee because it was late. And I eventually got back to my apartment, and my roommate, who had left the bar early, was like, where have you been? I'm like, Jay showed up. She was so devastated. I think to this day, that is like her biggest college regret. But we had such a good time. He was so, so nice. I'll post some of the pictures on Instagram of us hanging out. Don't mind me. We did not contour our makeup back then. So anyway, that is why season 1 of Project Runway is one of my favorites, because I hung out with the winner. Good times. Oh, so next is number 3 is Netflix Love is Blind. Again, first season. Everyone is so, so pure. No one is corrupt yet. We don't know the success of the show and what it's going to do. And this one, I mean, it swept the nation fast and furious. My coworkers and I would talk about it. Like, we would walk into work and be like, oh my God, did you see? I mean, and I unfortunately share a name, Jessica, with Jess from the show. So now some of my friends just call me Messica, but that's cool. This was just such a fun show to watch. I mean, Lauren and Cameron, like, what a gem of a couple. Amber and Matthew, like, of course those two are together. We could have seen it coming a mile away. It was just so much fun. And guys, this aired in 2020. And that was the biggest story. Like, do you remember when the biggest story was the plot of Love is Blind? I cannot believe that was this year. So much has happened. I feel like I have aged so much since this came out. So maybe just talking about it right now just brings me to a different place of when ignorance was bliss. And that was the last time that life was like really, really good before everything this year went crazy. So again, because it was the first season, no one is in it for, quote, the wrong reasons. It's so pure. They are casting for the second season. I don't know if it's going to be as good because of all the success season 1 had. I will still watch it, but season 1 of Love is Blind was really something spectacular, and I'm so glad we all got to experience it together. Number 2 is The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Guys, it used to be The Real Housewives of New York, but that's just trash now, and I have learned that there are bigger and better things out there, and that is Beverly Hills. I would do anything for millions and millions of dollars, not just to be rich, but so I would have the chance to be on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I am obsessed with this show. The fashion, the attitudes, the glam. It is just incredible. And sometimes their biggest problems like blow my mind. I cannot relate to it at all. But I love it and I can't get enough of it. I love Lisa Vanderpump. I do. I really love her. I think I see why people think that she's a problem. But man, do I love her. I do have a small British side in me. My dad is half Italian, half British, and I can see a lot of my dad's personality and my grandmother in Lisa Vanderpump, like just that British wit and humor and personality I just really relate to, and I love it so, so much. I will send screenshots to my husband and say, like, if I am not this in my 60s, then just end it. I just love her so much. Lisa Rinna, I see a lot of myself in her too. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I love how she doesn't take herself seriously. That is what I really like about her. I mean, Erica Jane is just a force to be reckoned with. She is fabulous from head to toe. I love that she comes from a very working class. I love how polite she is to servers when she goes out. I don't know if that's how she is in real life, but I really hope that she is. So if you do know any dirt on her, please don't tell me because I don't want to hear it. I just want to believe that she is as wonderful as I think she is. So anyway, I love The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. The first few seasons, I'm not going to lie, when I sat down to watch season 1, I couldn't because I could not relate to them. I could not relate to their problems in their big giant mansions. These problems they would make up. I thought Camille Grammer was just such a nightmare and her psychic friend such a loon. I need to talk to someone about that episode, even though it aired a bajillion years ago. It was, I can't. But now I love Camille. I love her so much. I need her back all the time. I love when she shows up to parties and events and vacations. I love her. I think, Kyle's sister, lunatic. I'm sorry. Like, I understand she was going through stuff. Like, we can do a whole podcast just on recap. Oh, that would be fun. Like recapping old seasons of Housewives at the very end. Oh, that might happen. Who knows? Anyway, love the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm actually going to go watch it as soon as I am done recording this. And so number one, guys, this should not be a surprise to you. It's not a surprise to me. It's The Bachelor, The Bachelorette franchise. I am obsessed. I've been watching since I was 16 years old. I don't want to tell you how old I am now, but let me just say that I cannot be on the show. That ship has sailed for me, but I need to meet Chris Harrison one day. It is my hope. It is my dream. I am putting it out into the universe. One day I will meet Chris Harrison and we will talk about the show and I will work with him. I don't know how, but it's going to happen. Maybe I can produce like an episode one season. I don't know. I just want to work on the show. I want to be involved in it so bad. I love it. 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 I know the show inside and out. I've been a fan forever. It is my favorite. It brings me so much joy. Like I said, I already have the menu planned out for when it comes out in October. I am in, withdrawal. I am so upset that Peter's season was the last season. I have my opinions and I stick to them. I really hope this season is fantastic. I just love everything about it. I love getting friends to watch with me. My friends know me as the Bachelor, Bachelorette fan. I mean, it is my favorite show. It really is. I don't have cable. We don't have cable or anything. We do everything with streaming. But when the show does come on, I do not watch it the next day. I will get like YouTube live and watch it live that night. I love live tweeting with it. It is just whole subculture that I shouldn't be this enthralled in, but I am. So I read and I watch The Bachelor. That's what I do. Anyway, so guys, that is the show. These are my favorite reality TV shows. If you have not seen Gene Simmons' Family Jewels, please look up some clips. They are so hysterical. Gene Simmons, please stream it somewhere. I'm going to go look tonight, see if I can find any episodes. So fun. Oh, the episode where they go camping. Hilarious. Anyway, guys, until next time, I am Jessica, and thank you for listening to the GSMC Entertainment Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I would like to ask you to please remember to subscribe to the show and write a beautiful, glowing review that really helps us out. Also, if you can please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, I would really appreciate it. Please go on Instagram and say hello. I would love to talk to you. We can talk all things entertainment. And until next time, you guys have a wonderful night. I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. From movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.